The sun rises over mountains, forming the background of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service logo, including the image of a duck flying over a jumping salmon in a river. A field of flowers. Text, Colorado Front Range National Wildlife Refuge Complex.
On a normal day out here at the refuge, you will see a beautiful sunrise that starts on the east.
Deer graze in a field.
This place will heat up throughout the day and the wildlife will kind of move into the shadows.
A herd of deer on a grassy horizon.
And as the sun sets over these big, huge Rocky Mountains, it just creates all sorts of different lighting effects. It's a pretty remarkable place to spend a sunset.
Two deer in silhouette as the sun sets over distant Rocky Mountain peaks, wispy clouds overhead. A woman slides open a barn door. A broken wood fence post overrun by tall grass. A barn looms in the distance.
The Colorado Front Range National Wildlife Refuge Complex includes 3 national wildlife refuges and some conservation easements.
David Lucas, Fish and Wildlife.
Our largest national wildlife refuge is the Rocky Mountain Arsenal, which is located in northeast Denver.
Behind a grassy field, the Denver skyline sits in front of the Rocky Mountains. A car travels a road.
When you visit here, it's one of the few places you can come in Metro Denver and experience prairie and not feel like you're in the middle of the city.
Children in blue t-shirts walk by a large facility in an open field.
At our refuge complex, we spend a great amount of time working with the local schools. So we have kids that come out and visit our national wildlife refuges and learn about science and technology and learn about nature.
Julia Witten.
Every group has its own personality, so every day that we do a program, it looks different. My name is Ranger Julia. Can you guys say, "What's up, Ranger Julia?" What's up, Ranger Julia? There's a lot of usually laughter and surprise that comes with being outside. It's very energizing.
Kids gather under scattered trees. A boy on a group tour holds a clipboard.
I think it's very important to have kinesthetic learning experiences that allow students to take what they've learned in the classroom and apply it using observations and using activity.
Bees pollinating flowers. A ranger shows a boy a pamphlet.
I usually end a program and I feel inspired by kids' natural interest in what's going on in the world around them. So what are these? Antenna. And what do they do? Smell. Yeah, all right, let's get your antenna. There we go.
A girl dons a butterfly costume. A monarch butterfly on a wildflower.
Learning about conservation at a young age, I think is one of the most important ways we can inspire the next kind of generation of conservationists.
Rangers in hard hats hose tall grass on the prairie. Text, Dele Johnson, Groundwork Denver.
We're at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge, and I'm with Groundwork Denver.
So as soon as we get it ripped up, we're going to have one person dig here, everybody else is going to grab a portion of it, and we're just going to pull it out as we go as a team.
Our mission is community action with environmental results.
1, 2, 3.
And I've made some pretty great friendships and relationships working out here.
4 people with Groundwork Denver shirts pull a barrier from the ground. Samantha Viatoro, Groundwork Denver.
Parents who want their kids to be outside, this is a great way to get them out here and enjoy the nature.
People don't even have to come to the refuge to feel the effects of the refuge.
Children exit a school bus.
We're out there at the schools, we're out there at the libraries, we're working with all these communities on a day in and day out basis.
Bison graze on an open prairie, with the Denver skyline in the distance.
Each of our national wildlife refuges is providing an important role, and by being all over town, we have the ability to connect with millions upon millions of citizens that happen to live in the metropolitan Denver area.
To survive!
Every time I come, I see something new, I learn something new, so for me, it's always inspiring. It makes me want to come back.
Text, the Colorado Front Range National Wildlife Refuge Complex is made up of 3 national wildlife refuges: Rocky Flats National Wildlife Refuge, Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge, 2 Ponds National Wildlife Refuge. Visit fws.gov for more information. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.